Hi, welcome back to Shop with Freya. I know it's been a while, but I've been out and about, and because lockdown ended for us, we managed to get to one or two places, go and see a few shopkeepers, see how they were faring with the whole lockdown thing. However, Bridgen today has been told that we will be going back into a lockdown. So we're back home again and I'm doing a bit of editing. Today's video is about the 3 key elements that you need to know about for a fantastic shop window display. So what are you going to be doing to make people stop and pay attention to your business? Let's find out. Whether you're going to have to close with the lockdown and you're going to have your shutters up, your shop window is the eye on your business. It's the eyes into the soul of your business. So the 3 key elements that you need to know about if you want to have a fantastic shop window that stops people in their tracks is, firstly, it must be eye-catching. So how do you do an eye-catching display? Well, there's various ways you can do that. You can do that with colour. So you could have the brightest of colours, the neons in your window if you wanted, and that will guarantee that it is eye-catching. However, you could do contrasting colours. They always look brilliant. So get yourself a colour wheel off the internet, have a look at the different colours that you could be using, get yourself down to the art store, get pieces of card that are so cheap and in every colour under the rainbow, and start making things to go in your window. Really start to think about the colours that you're going to be using though, because like with my sign here, we've got pinks, we've got a teal, we've got a blue, and it all comes together to make a great logo. And those are the things that you should be thinking about when you think about colour. How will it look to the outside world? And don't be afraid to be bold on this. You can be as bold, as brash as you like, or you could tone it down. You could have it completely in one colour and never move away from, say, tones of red or tones of blue. You could think about autumn. Autumn's coming up, so start using autumnal colours. You could use the oranges, the greens, the pale browns, the darker browns. You know, you could use these colours, the yellows, all to blend together to bring an autumnal feel to it. Think about the season you're in and think about the colours, but never ever be afraid to clash those colours as well. So if you have them at opposite ends of the spectrum wheel, then you could use those colours as well. Red and yellow go well together. Blue and green, they clash well together. You can use any sort of colours that you like. Pink and blue, they always go well together but clash. So think about how Mother Nature does it as well, because Mother Nature is very good at putting colours together. Go for a walk in the park, go and get some inspiration. Go for a walk down the street, see what colours are out there. Could be hues of grey even, you know, it doesn't matter. But think about the colours because that can be eye-catching. Another eye-catching element that you could use is movement. One of the best ever window displays that I had in my shop, Ella Riley's, the sweet shop that we had, was a train. Just a train on a track. And what we did was we put it in the window and it just went round and round and round. And to us, that wasn't exciting. But to every kid that went past, it was at their eye line, they could see it, and it was the most exciting thing in the world. So watching this train go round and round and round, they loved it. And when the kids stopped, the parents stopped, and that encouraged them to come in. You can also as well use movement in the form of spinning things on just cotton or fishing line. This is what we used. I put cup hooks into the top, into the ceiling, all the way along the front of my window, in the middle, behind that, and another row at the back of my window. We had quite a deep window, and I would often at Christmas I would put a bauble up and I would make sure it was one that spun round in the wind, so every time the door opened it spun round, and that caught the eye because I would put lights around it as well and it would glitter up. At Valentine's Day I also cut out hearts that were deliberately designed to be spinners. So when you put them up in the window, they were a heart, but they spun round and that caught the eye, and I put those all over. Just think about what you can put in the window that would spin round on a bit of cotton, because it could be the most mundane of things, really. You could put a mug in there on a piece of fishing line, and fishing line's very strong as well, or you could get nylon cotton. These strings are really strong. You could get mugs on there, you could get all sorts on there, and anything that will go catch the wind and just spin round every time your door opens. That's a great eye-catching design. Lighting is another big one. Don't be afraid to light your windows, and light them well. At Christmas, what we used to do was we would nip down to the hardware store and we would buy a stock of twinkly white lights, because they always come in to their own. They really do, throughout the rest of the year. And we would use them as backlights in things. So we would have boxes on the front so you couldn't see into the back, and we'd put items on the top, but we would backlight that light. So we'd put, from the art shop again, we'd get a piece of cellophane, coloured cellophane gels, and we would just backlight it so that it then lit up the back of the box and the light came out. Just little tricks like that. You don't have to just have the lights that you have in your shop window. We replaced our spotlights as well that we had in the window, and we put down lights in there. But then we also went to IKEA, good old IKEA, and we got the clip-on lights, the spotlights, and we put those in the sides. So we also had downlighters, spotlights, and we would spotlight the bits and pieces that we wanted. So lighting's really important. And actually, in fairness, I learnt this tip from a friend of mine who, his sister owned Mamas and Papas, and he used to be in charge of their shops and sales and franchising and things like that. And it was Joe who said to me, our biggest bill is our electric bill. And he was half joking, but Mamas and Papas knew the value of lighting the shop window display, but also shining lights on their displays in the shop as well. A lot of shopkeepers don't bother to do that. You want to pick out the items that you want people to see, and that is a really good way to do it with lighting. The second element for having a really good window display is feel free to be witty in your window display. Have you got the Rugby World Cup coming up, and have you got a wedding shop, for example? If so, have your brides in the window playing rugby with each other, and you could have the ball moving so there's a bit of movement between them. Anything like that. You could dress them up in the team colours for the wedding dresses and things. Think about what will be on point at that moment, with things that are going on around you, but things that are witty as well. So you could also, say you had a dress shop and you did prom dresses, you could use different fonts as well. And there's lots of different machines that you can do this, or you can do it by hand. Cut out fonts. So say you used a certain font that Disney used, you could have your Disney princesses and say something along the bottom like, you shall go to the ball, Cinders, and then all of your ball dresses in the window. Those little things are recognition things as well. And one shop that did this really well was it's Kohl's hardware store in San Francisco, I think they are. But they did, it's a hardware store. What can you do? You can put screws, nuts and bolts in the window. It's not very enticing, but what they actually did was, one Halloween, they put an orange background in, simple, just done with orange paper on a roll, and on their window they put Witch Broom in the font that the books are in, and then they just got different brooms that they had and put witches' brooms flying on pieces of string. Brilliant window display, absolutely superb, so creative, so witty as well, but so simple. And these are the things that you should really be doing with your window, because it's a lost opportunity otherwise. These are the eye-catching ones that make people stop and go, I like that shop, let's go and have a look in there. My third tip for the perfect elements in a window display, and this is so forgotten. I touched on it a little earlier with the movement, with the train set, but having things at eye line is so important. And when you're building your window display, such a newbie mistake is this, and it really does cut the pros from the newbies here. But when you do your window display, it's likely that your window floor will be higher elevated than the ground floor outside. So what you need to do is go outside with a bit of masking tape, dead simple, or, you know, anything really, a bit of chalk or something. On your window, mark a line. So wherever you stand and find the average height, so if it's, you know, if you're tiny like me at 5'2" and your husband's at 6'2", find somewhere in between, okay? But go outside, draw that line across there, okay? And what you're going to do then is you're going to go inside your window and use that piece of masking tape, that marker, as your eye line, because when people are walking past, they're going to be looking at that level. They're not going to be looking up at the top, and they're not going to be, you know, looking up like that, and they're not going to be looking down. It's going to be at that level there. So that's the level that you want to put your premium items in your window display at. So for example, our Christmas window, we used to, and it is so effective, we used to go down to the carpet shop at the end of the street and get the old carpet rolls. I would then paint them white and get some red ribbon and roll them round and make them like they were the North Poles. And I would put them at different heights, but along that eye line, so that the gifts that were our premium gifts at Christmas were at eye line and lifted up off the train set, and you could see what they were, and they were there, boom, visual, straight there, impactful. You knew what you were going to buy, and that's how you do it. You make sure that eye line is byline and that they see your premium products. Don't make that mistake that all newbies make. So thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Leave a comment below. And as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and share away. I tend to do all my videos for shopkeepers and business owners. So if you want to know more about that, check out the other videos that I've linked down below, and see you in the next video. Take care. And of course, as always, hit the like button. And of course, as always, hit the like button. What is wrong with me?